We are live. Yo,
Yay!
everybody, welcome to another episode of Elijahspeaks show. This is a podcast, and today I'm very happy actually to bring you my guest. I've known her for a while. We used to be together in college back in Ohio. That's 13 years ago.
A long
And with
time.
her busy schedule, I managed to bring her here. Her name is Khamoya Gordon. Can you say hi to the people?
Thank you for having me, Elijah. And I'm never too busy for you, Elijah. You can always hit me up. I'll always squeeze you in somewhere. I'm actually here. I just got my test result for my COVID test that I did, and I'm negative.
Oh,
So I'm
you're
overly
negative.
excited to hop on here today.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
I'm excited.
Why were you doing the test in the first place?
So if we're exposed to like anyone that has it, or because I come in for I have to go into the unit, right? I have my annual training, so um we go back home. I've been exposed, so I had to get tested.
All right. So,
And I'm
Khamoya, I'm so excited to have you here. You are an army veteran. Um, you've
hmm
been serving in army for almost 5 years now.
hmm
Not only are you a soldier, you're also an entrepreneur.
I am.
You are also an investor. You are also an activist. You are also a writer. That's amazing. So,
Correct.
I know you. Some of my audience don't know you. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Khamoya Gordon. If y'all don't know me, if you didn't get that, I met Elijah 13 years ago, as he told you earlier. When we were both in Hawken, we came here, as immigrants, and we came here to, um, do better for ourselves and our family, right?
Mhm,
Whatever, adversary or whatever we may come across, that was our main aim and our main goal, right? That was my
mhm,
I mean, that was mine. I'm Jamaican. Um and I saw an opportunity in a few years ago, not working for others, um but helping others to escape the 9 to 5 journey, right? There are a
mhm,
lot of people that love their 9 to 5. That's no problem at all. That's no problem at
mhm,
all, right?
mhm,
But
mhm,
for those who are miserable, for those who know that there's better but can't seem to find it, um I put myself in that position to help lead them, if that makes sense.
mhm,
Not to be taken away from, because people might say, oh, but soldiers 9 to 5. Actually, soldier it's not a job, it's not a
mhm,
career, it's a lifestyle. So
mhm,
whether I'm in it or not, I will always be doing what I do in the military.
mhm,
I don't consider the military. I will always be an entrepreneur, right? And I will
mhm,
always, be an activist for the people, always for the people and by the people, right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
as a soldier, I get to implement certain things, right, that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So my every day I put my uniform on, it's an honor. And I will always get up every day to put this uniform on.
That's what I'm talking about. We appreciate you for your service. That means a lot.
Thank you for
Um,
your support.
you're welcome. So, Kamoya, you actually highlighted this. You and me are both immigrants. We both to United States to better our lives. We started with education, then we worked ourselves up. Uh, before you came to America, how was it like growing up in Jamaica?
Oh, home. um
Home,
Jamaica is
home.
beautiful, man. It's very different back home, as in Jamaica, as it relates to here.
Mm-hmm,
Um I actually had a cultural shock. I couldn't just like even the mere fact of just picking a fruit off a tree. I couldn't
Yes.
do that here. I couldn't do that
Yeah.
here. It's a
No.
lawsuit or something. You can get in trouble. Back
Yes.
home, it's like a community, right? So
Yes.
you could go over and pick a fruit off your neighbor's tree. Hey Elijah, I'm gonna get some of your
Mangoes, other stuff.
mangoes. Oh my goodness, mangoes is yeah, especially
Yeah.
mangoes. I love mangoes. So
Yes.
that's different. And just how we were raised, right? It's very different. Not to say that one is better than the other. It's just very
Mm-hmm.
different. They can both intertwine, but they're very very different. You see what I'm saying? Uh oh my goodness, Jamaica is, it's more about just relaxing and enjoying, like enjoying the sun, enjoying the weather, enjoying the food, enjoying the music. That's what it's about back home.
The reason I know Jamaica is because of the music. You
Yeah.
give us the reggae, you give us the dancehall and all that stuff. You give us Bob Marley.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep. So it is.
did you grow up in Kingston?
I did not. I grew up
Okay.
in I grew up, well, actually I was always a nomad, even home.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
was born in southern on the southern side of Jamaica, which is St. Elizabeth. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
live there for long. Then I moved to the western side of Jamaica, which is Negril, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I moved from Negril. I went back to St. Elizabeth, and then I was just all over the whole country. I love my country so much. I traveled a lot. I once I got used to one area, I moved on to just learn more about the other side, and that has always, I was always curious. I was always inquisitive about stuff. In my country, I would want to know everything there is to know about my country, not just for myself, but I love talking about my country. I like telling people about my country. So I try to get as much of the facts as I possibly can ever since I was a kid, so that when somebody asks, I'm like, oh, actually, you could go here. Oh, actually, you could go there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's really amazing. So now you literally spend most of your younger life in Jamaica, then you had to make a transition to the US, and you and me, we are going through the same things at the same time. Uh, Living in the same area, going to the same school, having the same culture shock. How was it? Is it for you like transitioning from Jamaica to the US? What are some of the things that were challenging, and what are some of the things that were great?
You know what? For me, though, Elijah, every challenge is great for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every disappointment is great for me because I don't I don't really sulk in my disappointments, right? I live through them, right? And I learn from them. So everything was great. My greatest challenge, though, I'm gonna tell you this. I think you probably know this also, but my greatest challenge was in college. Um, so Jamaica learned the British English.
Yes.
One minute, Elijah. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna have
no
to give you
problem.
1 minute. Hi,
I just wanted to know what's your first and last name?
Khamoya Gordon.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get your test results?
I sure did. I'm negative.
Okay, all right.
Exciting news.
Yeah.
Thank God. Were you contact to a positive?
I was contacted.
No, but were you a contact to a positive?
No,
Positive patient?
no,
What
ma'am.
brings you in today?
Just signs.
Oh, just symptoms?
Yes.
Okay. And you weren't traveling, anything like that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let me just grab your card and then you're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm
Military
sorry.
life. Military
mil-
life. No
military
problem.
life, man. Military life. It
I,
happens.
I hear
It
you.
happens. Just a quick glitch there, but it was good news because I'm negative. So
That's
I
good.
don't care. They
Did you
could
get
cut me as
married?
much time as they want. Okay, back to the question.
Yeah, the British English versus American
Oh
English.
yeah,
Tell me
so
about
that's
that.
right. So while I was in college, our country, teaches British English.
Me
So
too.
while I was in college, just the spelling, right?
We're different.
And how we place certain words, it was
Like
incorrect. And I
like
could not get it for the
labor,
life of me.
labor, yeah, labor license, favorite, mom.
Organization,
Yes,
flavor, color. I'm like, this
yes,
is
yes,
incorrect. And I just could not, I had to actually do extra classes, which is weird because we're an English speaking country. So I
yes,
had to do extra classes in English to actually
yes,
get it. And
yes,
to this day, I still have that issue. And I'm just like, it is what it is right
yep.
now.
Um, uh, what about the life of an international student? Like, if we are to, first of all, we are charged three times more than anybody else. Then
Correct.
if we are to work, we are only allowed to work 19 hours. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
want us to work off campus. Um, how was it for you? Was it like disappointing, or what was your take from that experience?
You know what? It was a bit disappointing, but it taught me something. It taught
Hmm,
me proper money management skill.
hmm,
Okay.
hmm,
That right there put into perspective how I spend, whether it be just to go to the movies, right? For a movie
hmm,
night, or if I'm going to buy a pair of shoes or whatever it is. It kind of sort of put me in check and in perspective, saying, hey, okay, you remember you're only working 19 hours. Remember your school fees coming up. Remember your school fees not this amount, but three times that amount. So it kind of get me more money savvy, right? And I had a bet. I started learning now the science of money
hmm,
and money management.
hmm. I like that. So, from the time we met, you have achieved a lot. We met, then our path kind of went separate. Then again, we're just like parallel, watching each other do stuff to finally to the point where you are. What I've noticed about you from the time I met you is you're so driven. When you put your mind to something, you 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 never stop it until it becomes a reality. So even the moment I realized that you're in the army, I was like, oh, Khamoya used to model for us. She's in the military. I was like, dang, she is so determined. I was just very proud, and I knew you could always do it. But my question for you is, what is it that sets you apart from the rest of people? You thrive where other people give in. You move forward where other people stops. What is it that makes you the way you are?
Um, I wouldn't say I'm apart from anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. I wouldn't say that. But honestly, what keeps me doing what I do, or allows me to get up out of my bed every day in a good spirit, is my fire, right? I
Tell
have a
me about it.
huge, huge fire, and it's always blazing. Now, we all have fire.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of us have fire. The problem is we don't realize it, right? That's number one. We don't realize our fire, right? But we all got that fire inside of us. And the next thing is that even if we realize it, is accepting it, right? So those are the two issues that may arise as it relates to, some I doing this and somebody else not doing it. That's the only thing. But we all got fire. It just burns differently.
So you got the thing that makes you the way you are is the fire that burns in you.
Correct.
Where did that fire come from?
Um, I'm not sure where the fire itself came from,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it was always there. It was always, always there. The mere fact that you get up and say, even someone that get up and goes to work, right, on a nine to
Mm-hmm.
five, they got that
Mm-hmm.
fire. If they didn't, guess what? They ain't going to no work. You see what I'm saying? It's a determination to live, through whatever life may throw your way, your determination to live is what it is. But I know I've always had the fire. Recognizing that fire though and accepting the fire came at a later date. And they came at 2 different dates also. It doesn't happen right away.
How did you transitioning from just you wanting to pursue education to joining the military? Why the military?
The military was discipline for me. Mainly it was discipline. And I believe that if I am gonna be fighting for or if I am for the people in any country at all, if I'm for the people, by the people, I believe that my first step to the people would be to protect the people, right? Or protect the country as per se that the people are in. So with that mindset, I said, well, how can I really be serving these people if I don't join the military, right? That would be my first step to serve the people.
How was it like going through the training, the physical training? Was it mentally and physically challenging?
Training was mostly mental.
Because remember, I used to model, so it is a huge jump. You know what I
I
mean?
know, but the training was mostly mental, right? The
Yeah.
physical part to it, everybody got to do it, so we got to get through it together.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do it, and we are all doing it. So the main part to it was just the mental part. That was it. They can really mess with your head, man.
Oh, really? Tell
Yeah.
me a little bit more about it.
I mean, they know what to say, how to say to get into your head, right? So let's say, let's say you're gonna eat, right? They say, okay,
Yeah.
you got 5 minutes to eat, or whatever the cases may be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
5 minutes is a long time. But because you're so paranoid about it, 5 minutes, you've never actually timed how long you really sit to eat without talking and stuff. You've never actually timed that. If you're not talking and you're eating, you're done. You're done in no time. 5 minutes is a long time, but because you're messing with the head, people start getting paranoid and stuff like that. It's just all mental, man. It's all mental.
Wow.
Military is a great place.
Wow. So you did you ever think of giving up whenever you're going through the training, or you're just focused on your goal?
Nah, a lot of times. A lot of times I thought about giving up. What? A
Tell
lot
me.
of times. I bet a lot of people, yeah, you're going to think about giving up. You're going to think about, man, what am I doing? Stuff like that. But it goes back to the fire and your purpose.
Okay.
It goes right back to your fire.
So I want you to a little bit dissect the meaning of fire and purpose and your will not to give up, because it's not only about military training. That same principle, you're able to apply it into your life. Whenever you felt like you wanted to give up, the fire and the purpose are there to guide you. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, correct. So, all right, to use another word, right, and not say fire. So actually it could be a matter of a purpose, right? So when you were 16, 17, you probably don't have that same mindset that you're at when you're 21, 22, right? From an earlier age, I said, well, there must be more to life than just, getting up and going to work, right? There must be more to life than just sitting on the corner, right? There must be more to life, right? Because other people are doing it, right? So that concept and that thought of saying, okay, if there's more to life, how can I change this? How can I make this better? How can I get to that more to life kind of a situation? That how to is your fire, right?
Wow.
So basically you're gonna always have that how to. You see what I'm saying? With that fire burning, with that fire of how to, you're not gonna give up. How can you give up? You haven't gotten to the how to just yet. Whatever your how to is, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever your how to is, you're not gonna give up until you get that how to. So that that section between you're here and over there and trying to get over there, that middle part is your fire.
Oh, I like that. You broke it down in terms that I can be able to understand. So now you succeeded. You actually graduated, and you're in the army, and you have been able to save, and you're enjoying doing what you do. How did the military life help shape your overview in life?
As I said earlier, the military is a lifestyle, right? So the military stays shaping you on a day-to-day basis, right? Whether you're in or out, there's a particular discipline, there's a particular your values, right? There's certain things that's instilled in you, and on a day-to-day basis, it is being executed, right? The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you deal with other people, the way you provide service to others, right? So it's an everyday thing. It's not a okay, I'm out, I'm done thing, right? It continues. Even after you get out, it continues. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, you know, yes, please, you know, stuff like that. It's embedded in you. It's like in your genes or something. After being in for a period of time and getting out, it's a lifestyle. You just keep on living it.
What is at stake whenever you're living a life in the military? What are some of the greatest risks that you take?
It's not a risk for
What
me.
is it
For
for
me,
you?
I love being in the military, man. So whatever I do is it's a pleasure. You understand? So, in all honesty, yes, the military do have it, you know, what it has, you know what I mean? But for me, it's putting on my uniform is not a risk. Putting on my uniform is providing service. So I'm saying, so you know, driving down the road could be considered a risk, right? But you're still gonna drive, right? And you probably won't even think it's a risk because it's just a drive, right? Going to work, you work in a call center or something, right? You don't consider that could be a possible risk, right? But it could be. In all technicality, everything could be a risk, but we still do it, and we don't think about it as a risk. So I couldn't explain it as a risk because I don't think about it as a risk.
I like that clarification. Then you went to serve in the Middle East. How was your experience?
It was beautiful, man. I
Tell me
met
about it.
so many. Okay, so I went to Qatar, right? So first of all, there are a lot of Filipinos in Qatar, right?
Okay.
And I got introduced to their culture, their language, right? The people are just beautiful, right? The country itself, I love. One thing I didn't love about the country is the heat. It
It's
gets
hot.
really, really, really hot, and I love
120 degrees.
Oh gosh! On a good day with 65% humidity, 50% humidity,
I
you'll
remember
be
one time
dying
you
for that.
texted
It's
me,
like
you're like, dude, it's hot over here.
it's hot, but but the people made it fun. The people really did make it fun. I'm still friends with a lot of people over there. We still talk on WhatsApp and so on and so forth. I was introduced to a new culture, their food, their dances, right?
Yeah,
You know, I love
yeah,
music. So I was
yeah.
introduced to the music, the dances, yeah. And the architecture over there is beautiful too. The
Yeah,
buildings,
it's
oof,
amazing.
it is beautiful.
I
Other
like
than that, it's
that.
just hot. Huh?
I like that you got to enjoy, experience, meet people in their culture, eat their food, and all that stuff. So now you've got this military life going on, then you're also an entrepreneur, actually a very active one, the one who has got so much financial education and is willing to learn more and empower more people. How did that come about?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother?
Yeah, she was always a giving person. She was always helping people. She was always teaching. And to this day, I'm still learning from stuff that she would have she taught me like when I was a kid, right? I
How is
remember
your volume? I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So,
yeah.
I remember this one time, right? So my grandmother used to provide. She was the matriarch of the family, so she used to provide like when she cooks, the whole neighborhood come, the kids come, and they eat, and so on and so forth. So I used to love, love, love fried chicken, right? The
Mhm.
drumstick, right?
Fried chicken. Mm-hmm.
So I used to eat all my rice and beans and stuff, and save the drumstick, and there'll be somebody come late and the food is all done, and then my grandmother would be like, oh, you have to share your drumstick, and I used to be so mad, right? Like, why didn't they come earlier, so on and so forth. And as I got older, like in my high teenage years, was when I saw what my grandmother was really, really doing, right? So most of the times, right, the kids come around, of course they come around for food, right, and all that, but it's just the getting together, right? Us as children, right? Just appreciating each other's presence. After we finish eating, we used to go play, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
mad that I have to give a piece of my chicken leg or whatever. But after that, I was mad for like however long. But best believe that afterwards we're gonna go and play, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
that community of, even though it might be my neighbor's child, or you know somebody that live a good distance out, we're raised now, we're in that community, we were raised as brothers and sisters, right? More than neighbors, basically, right? So we look out for each other, and we grew up looking out for each other. So now I don't just look out for the people that I know, or I look out for people that I don't know, right? For people that don't have a voice for themselves, I'll help them with that.
And that's the reason why you became an activist.
That is correct.
Wow. You and me talked about how there's so similarities between most of the African cultures and Jamaican, whereby sometimes you can go to your neighbor's house to ask for salt, tomato, mangoes. You are able to help each other like that. We are brought up in the community that is there to help each other. Then I remember when you came to Ohio, sometimes we would say, hey, Moya is cooking this some nice Jamaican chicken in the house. They do come to your apartment just trying to eat your food, because for us it was normal. Then
Mm-hmm.
out of that bubble, when you went to other American culture, you can't just go to the neighbors and ask for anything. So uh, how did you manage to continue on the same cultural value even if the society doesn't support that kind of a lifestyle?
Well, you see, kindness is contagious,
Hmm.
right? Kindness
Mhm.
is contagious, and it's always a receivable, right?
Mm, mm,
So even, let's just say I was mean, right?
mm,
And somebody came up to me and be like, why are you, it's not that serious, you don't have to be that mean. And if they come to me like that, I would react differently, right? So I
mm,
bring that same kindness to a complete stranger. Hey, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. What's wrong? And eventually, they will just tone it down until when we can actually have a conversation, right? So
mhm.
regardless of what cultural difference or whatever the cases may be, I will always take that kindness with me. You know what I mean? if
Uh,
if it's not if it's not received, then that is okay. It's not going to stop me though from giving the next person kindness, or showing the next person some form of kindness.
on top of that, I'm gonna connect to the fact that uh, in America we have a lot of homeless people. We have a lot of homeless veterans that some of them you're able to bring into your house. every year. Why do you do it?
Winter is cold, man.
Mm,
Winter is cold. And being outside for 5 minutes is not fun, right?
mm,
I do what I do
mm,
because I feel like it's the right thing to do, right? I don't
mm,
expect people to take people in. I don't
mm,
expect all of that. And I ain't looking down on anybody. What
mm,
I do is what when I look at it, if I say, man, this is not right, I'm gonna try and correct it how I can. There's a lot of
mm,
homeless people, but I can't help all of them.
mm,
But if I can help one, if I can
mm,
help two, if I can
mm.
help three, you know what I mean? I'm making a change in somebody's life,
I
is
like
what it
that.
is.
I like that. Um, why do you think we have a lot of homelessness cases in America?
Man, I'm still trying to figure that out. It shouldn't be so much. It shouldn't be any at all, right? But
Mm-hmm,
in every economy or in every country, there will be the less fortunate, as how we may put it. But it's funny when I think about it, you know, just now it just pop in my head. If I have a house, right,
mm-hmm.
and you don't, and let's say I provide you housing, in the winter or whatever the cases may be, you are little less than I'm sorry, you're a little more than less fortunate. You see what I'm saying? So you got something, you just got someone put you up for 3 months, right? Or you just got someone put you up for 4 months, whatever the case, or a day, whatever the cases may be. But you just got life just got a little bit better for a particular season. In summer, in spring, I don't want to be inside, honestly. I would live outside too. You know what I mean? But in the winter where it's so harsh and it's so hard, if I can make a change in somebody's life, I most definitely will. I'm not
Okay.
looking to be rewarded. I'm not looking
Mm-hmm.
for anything. I just want that person to know, listen, there's somebody here that cares, man. Don't give up just yet. Somebody cares, you know?
I really admire that a lot about you. How you're not self-centered. Everything you do, you want to impact somebody else's life. So you understand the life of a soldier, and when you see a veteran who saved people risk their lives just sitting out there in winter, you want to do something to change their lives. Here is to this question. Actually, I like this question. Like I said, I've known you for more than a decade. We're talking about 13
Correct.
years. I've seen you of a bad day. I've seen you of a bad month. I've seen you of a bad year. But you always seem to find a way to remain optimistic. Why? Why?
We're all optimists.
How?
Um, so this is how I'll put it, right?
Hmm,
First of all, if somebody got to be the optimist, I will, right?
hmm,
But if it all has to do with balance. So if you're too optimistic, I'm gonna be the pessimist,
hmm,
right? If you're
hmm,
too pessimistic, I'm gonna be the optimist. It's all about balance, right?
hmm, hmm,
Now, let me just in we are all optimists, but because we focus on the pessimistic side,
hmm,
we miss the optimist inside us.
hmm. Tell me more.
You see what I'm saying? So
Hmm,
let's just say I'd be like, regardless of what it is, I will succeed. Let's just say I
hmm,
say that. Regardless, I don't care. See myself, I will be successful, so on and so forth, right?
hmm,
And man, next thing you know, I lose my car, I lose my house, I lose my job. But here I am still. Regardless, I am going to be successful. I don't care, right?
hmm,
Another person could be, okay,
hmm,
regardless, I'm going to be successful. Then they lose their car. They'll be like, damn, couldn't get any worse. Then they
hmm,
lose their house. Oh my goodness, this is it, right?
hmm,
But they're still going, right? But
hmm,
they're focusing on what they're losing without focusing on what they could actually gain or what they could get back or what they could get more of.
Hmm.
You see
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
So they're still going on, they're still continuing on that journey, right? But they're
Mhm.
focusing on the, oh man, the bad part as opposed to the good part.
I like that. I feel like it's one of the best qualities to have. This is what I know. No matter how much you become successful, you never completely eliminate all the stress of life. So I feel like having a positive outlook is the way to live life in a happy way. Instead of always focusing on the negative, you gotta focus on something that is positive. I think that will help us to push through to even go ahead with everything that we intend to achieve. So in my eyes, you're successful. You are successful. You've achieved your dreams. You're living them as your reality. And people have got different definition of success. So come on, how do you define success?
Success for me is everything, the good, the bad, the in between, right?
Hmm.
I need the bad days to appreciate the good. I need the good days to just understand that there's more that can be done because I just moved from the bad days, right?
Hmm.
And I need the in between to remind me, hey, you're getting complacent. Like, get it together, right?
Hmm.
Because the in between is like, I might work, I might not, kind of a thing. No, getting complacent, get it together.
Hmm.
So, you know, success consists of everything for me because even stuff that you will call failure, right?
Hmm.
Failure, failure is not the like the opposite of success.
Hmm.
Failure is a part of success.
I
You
like
have to
that.
fail to be successful. Like you're
I
not
like
just
that.
gonna get up and be winning every day. You gotta fail at something.
Hmm. Hmm. I like that. So you and me had a good discussion. We were talking about how success is subjective. For
Mm-hmm.
some people, success is buying a small bus and driving across the states, experiencing life, tasting food.
That sounds
Some
like me.
people, success is starting a business, growing up and making it big. Some
Mm-hmm.
people, success is graduating with a degree. Some people, success is buying a big mansion and driving expensive cars. And some people, success is being a mother or a father. Is that what we talked about? When
Yes.
you gave me an example of one of your partner who just loves cars, and that's his success.
Yes.
So, what do you think?
I mean, listen, um, whatever success is for somebody,
Mm-hmm,
my success and your success will not be the same. Okay.
mm-hmm,
My
mm-hmm,
failures and your or what I consider failure and what you consider failure will not be the same. If today, let me just show you now. So this morning, I get coffee every morning at 7-Eleven, right?
yeah.
And whatever, I always pay in cash. If I don't have any cash, then I use my card. Whatever, whatever money I use, 5 or 10, whatever the cases may be, I always leave the change behind. AO pay for somebody else's coffee or whatever the cases may be, right? Now, and I get coffee every day. Every day I get
Mm-hmm,
my coffee, right? Success, a failure for me is if I go through a day and not help one person. I don't care
oh,
what it is. It could be
mm,
help the person cross the road. It don't have to be anything major. It's
mm-hmm,
very minor,
mm-hmm,
right? It doesn't
mm-hmm,
have to be. It can be just saying, "Hey, good morning," making somebody's day a better day. I've accomplished something for that day, right?
mm-hmm,
True success for me is doing service to the people, honesty. And I'm not trying to put on a front or anything. That is what it is to me, right? The big houses, the stuff, those are just end product. You see what I'm saying? after you've accomplished what you need to
Whoa, whoa,
accomplish,
whoa.
right?
I like that. I like that. That's so deep. So things like big house, cars, that's the end product of a success
Yep.
person. That's not the true definition of success.
No, it's just the end product.
Oh, girl, you're going deep. Tell me more.
Well,
Why is it the end product? Why is it the end product? Because you listen, you and me come from countries where we define success by the material gain. We don't define success by what you can do for another person or what makes you happy regardless of the measurement. You know what I mean? I feel like success has got levels or measurement, but it doesn't matter how it's measured as long as you feel like you're successful. So you just knocked something out saying that buying like a Ferrari or buying a mansion is just the end product of success. So to me, it sounds like somebody who's doing good financially can actually buy that because they have success on finances. But we're talking about success that revolves the entire life, not only the financial aspect of our life of success.
so, all right, let me show you this, right?
Mm,
So, everything and anything can be accomplished, right?
mm,
By
mm,
anybody. I don't care how successful you are or not, right? You can get it. If one person can pick a car up, whatever that person does, you can do the same thing or even do something else and get it up.
mm,
Okay?
mm,
So eh, success acquiring properties, acquiring material stuff.
mm.
It's you may say it's hard, or you may say, it's unattainable or whatever the cases may be, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you don't put your mind to say, okay, I need to get this, right, or I need to get that, and this is how I get it done, because the end product of getting a big house or car, expensive car, whatever the cases may be, you don't just get up every day and say it. You got to have a discipline. You got to have a schedule in place. You got to have something that you work off, right? So every day you get up, you know what you're working for and you work towards it. You got to be determined regardless of what shows up, regardless of what comes your way, regardless if the whole earth just open and everybody falls in, regardless of what happens, you don't lose your sight on what you want at your end product.
Oh,
You see what I'm
come
saying?
on,
So,
girl.
you know, you're not going to just talk it and say, oh, I can do it. And that's it. You're going to work. But
Oh,
being successful itself,
mm,
whatever your definition may be, right?
mm,
If
mm,
you're not living a particular life or
mm,
set yourself up in a particular way,
mm,
there's no success coming your way. Whether it be in health, whether
mhm.
it be in wealth, whatever you may put the definition of success as an individual, if you don't live your life accordingly to get to that point,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gonna get it.
I like that. That's so good. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with this other question. So success is subjective, but is there any collective keys or elements that we need to have in order for us to get the end product?
Discipline and consistency.
Ooh, why? Tell me more.
uh if you wanna, I'll just ask you this: if you want to live a healthier life, right, can you just eat healthy for a week and you get there? Can you?
Say that-
No. You got
No.
to keep on eating, right? And you have to have a particular discipline, because it's so
Yes.
easy to like coffee. Coffee is not healthy. I get up and
Mm,
drink it every day. If I say, okay, I want to stop drinking coffee, I know, Lord, please don't let it get to that. But if I say that, it's going to take a lot of discipline and consistently getting up every day, not drinking the coffee, not drinking the coffee, not drinking the coffee. Right? So it is with anything else. Even if you have a photogenic memory, even whatever it is, you still have to have some form of discipline and you have to be consistent.
Okay, actually, that's very good. And me, I'm gonna add to it a sacrifice and the determination.
Yep.
The-
Yep.
You gotta be willing to sacrifice something in order for you to be disciplined, and you need to be consistent. But what most of us do is we start something, we try it 2 times, it's not working,
We
we
give up.
think,
Yep.
we give up. This is not for me. Then we try another thing, we give it one shot, we give up. So I think you're gonna be consistent, even when you fail. Like you said, part of being successful is going through certain failures and hard times. Those are the things that help us to actually become strong and succeed. I really like those points. So if somebody is listening right now and they want to ask you a question, it might be a kid from Cambodia or a kid from Middle East or Africa or Jamaica or anywhere. If they came to you and say, Moya, you have inspired me a lot, and I've seen where you come from and what you have achieved. I want you to share with me 3 greatest lessons you have learned in life.
Oh, all right. So number 1 is trust, right? Trust yourself 100%. That's
Trust
it.
yourself.
Yes.
Yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Trust yourself 100%. Even when you're wrong, because you're not going to be right all the time, but still trust yourself in your wrong. In all essence, right? In all essence, you will be the only person that ever trusts you 100%. Right? The next thing is be true to yourself. Right? So the truth's gonna hurt sometime. Doesn't matter. Be true to yourself, because that also helps you to understand yourself more and others. Right? So always be true to yourself. And everything that affects you, or relates to you, or you have knowledge of, or whatever the cases may be, everything starts with you. See where I'm going there? In order to be a better person, in order to serve the world, everything starts with you. When okay, so let's I'm going to show you just an example with the third example right here. So when you work on you, right, you be a better person. You don't know who's looking. There's always someone looking, right? Being a better person, people now comes to you like, how do you do this? How, they're gonna be, you be like, wait, what? All I did was I did this or whatever, because you might not think what you're doing is a big deal, right? Accepting yourself, loving yourself, trusting yourself, all of that. You might not think it is a big deal, but someone is watching, right? And eventually someone will come to you, right? And basically, in return, you're going to help that person be a better person or a better version of themselves.
I like that a lot.
So, trust in yourself, be true to yourself, and everything starts with you. So believe in yourself.
So everything is about you, and it starts with you.
Yes.
If you don't trust yourself, you got no confidence in yourself.
Correct.
Without confidence, it's harder to do anything or
Correct.
achieve anything. Then if everything starts with you, is there's a saying that says you can't give what you don't have. If you wanna
Correct.
if you wanna invest in other people, invest in yourself
Mm-hmm.
first. If
Mm-hmm.
you want other people to grow, progress around you, do the same for yourself. Hmm,
Correct.
that's deep. So those are some of the greatest lessons you learned in your
Yes.
life.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still
Okay.
learning though. I'm student of life.
You're
So it
still in
might
our
change. It
life.
might change next year or next 5 years. I don't know.
So I like your philosophy. I don't know if I can use that term, or your life overview. It's optimistic. It's kind of also the one that requires you to know yourself and be in tune with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes you the author of the upcoming book that you are working on. Tell me, what is this project about?
Um, Acceptance, understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of. I don't want to give out anything much from the book, so I'm trying to. So,
Okay,
accept,
okay, just give me a little bit, just like about acceptance and the other one.
Okay. So acceptance, the basically, um, accepting people for who they are,
Mm-hmm.
accepting yourself for who you are,
Mm-hmm.
actually makes this world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Just accepting, just accept. You don't have to agree with it, right? You don't have to agree
Mm-hmm.
with what anybody do, as a matter of fact. But
Mm-hmm.
accepting it and seeing that that's how it is, you don't have to associate yourself with it or anything. Just accept it, because we all serve a purpose. Best
Oh,
believe that. Somebody got to
oh,
be the doctor.
hmm,
Somebody got to
wow,
do the bad so we can appreciate the good.
hmm,
Somebody can do the
wow.
good to upset somebody to do the bad. That's
That
just a circle of life.
that's
You can't
deep.
have too much. You can't have too much of one thing. You need that
Hmm,
balance.
hmm.
So we all serve the purpose for that balance, whatever the balance may be.
Wow. I want to read that book. What else? What other chapter?
You'll read it soon.
When are you planning on releasing it so that I can tell my
Um,
people to be on the
Probably
checkup
around spring 2021.
on spring? Okay. What other insights could you offer? Are you going to offer anything about financial literature?
Yes. Um, Financial literacy is, um, if not back then, it's of it is it is of it is of utmost importance. Jamaican
Hmm.
and me getting my words mixed up.
Oh, say
Now,
it, say it, say
right?
it.
um, you know, we have to understand how money
Hmm,
works. It is
hmm,
important to understand how money works, because if you don't
hmm,
understand that, you will be broke.
hmm.
That's just what it is. You could have 1 million today and tomorrow you're flat broke if you don't understand the dynamics, the science, and of how money works, and how you should make your money work for you. So that's most definitely gonna be touched on. Um, but as I said,
Okay,
I don't want to give out too much.
let me, okay, let me, because you're also an investor, so let me go deeper a little bit on money. Um, do you what shapes our mindset towards how we look at finances? Is it our upbringing, or is it our exposure to the society we live in?
You know what? Everything influences us. Our
Hmm,
thoughts, our movement,
hmm,
what we eat, everything has
hmm,
in some way, shape, or form, um,
hmm,
um, influences us, right? So
hmm,
let me just give you an example. I'm gonna use myself again. I like using myself as example, right?
hmm,
So um, I went to the Middle East, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
there were certain meats that they eat that I was like, no, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
camels. Heard it tastes good. Heard it tastes like chicken, right?
What?
I said, I said to
Really?
myself, I said, first of all, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to eat camels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't being disrespectful or anything. I said, what I will do is then to prevent myself from eating camel or camel meat or whatever they may call it, I said, if I can't smell my meat and it smells like fish, I'm not having it, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
been over a year since I've eaten meat, like chicken or, you know, turkey,
Wow.
whatever the case, lamb. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing I've had is fish, right? And it's the mere fact that I say I don't want to eat camel meat. Not just that, not just that. You know, Qatar has a whole lot of Muslims and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's a particular way how they eat because I eat chicken. I mean I used to eat chicken, pork,
Mm-hmm.
fish,
Mm-hmm.
oxtail, everything. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican, right?
Mm-hmm.
We love
Yep.
that, right?
Yep.
But I went to Qatar. I've become friends with certain people, and just out of respect for their religion and their lifestyle, also I didn't eat certain things around them
Mm-hmm.
because you know out of respect, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I grow to love head wraps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love it, and I will always now. I realize now I still love my afro, so it's either
Mm-hmm.
I'm out with my afro or I got my head wrapped.
I
And
hear
it was
you.
just I was seeing people with their hair with their head wrapped up every day, so
Mm-hmm.
it influences how I react now to
Mm-hmm.
head wraps. I have an appreciation and a love for head wraps, right? So that's just the same as it relates to how does you know our if our environment or culture or whatever the case is um affect the way how we look at certain things or success or money or whatever. Yes, everything has in some way shape or form um shape your mind, how you think, how you look at things, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you have to get yourself though and some at some point earlier than some where you get your mind in a state of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
It's acceptance that's very very important, whatever it is. Accept the struggle. All right, fine. I want to accomplish this in 5 years. Number one is you have to accept that you're gonna accomplish it in 5 years. You have to see yourself already having it in 5 years, right? You have to see all of that. And then the next thing is now your consistency, right, of working on it and your discipline of working on it. Having that tunnel, you're just straight down. That's it. Straight down. This is my aim. This is my goal. This is what I'm gonna accomplish. Whatever distraction come, because distraction will always come. But
Uh, uh,
whatever distraction come, you will deal with it and keep on your journey.
but if what about if somebody says it sounds easy said than done because most of us don't even come from the families where somebody was so wealthy or they would give us any knowledge or information about financial literacy. Uh, uh, how does that kind of environment activate their mindset to dream bigger than to what they're used to?
My first
Because
thing is everything is easier said
you
than done.
and me can say that because we have lived in two different worlds, and the people have never been exposed to the things we have exposed. So, do you think you and me have an advantage, or anybody can be anything they want, regardless of where they are?
Number one is everything is easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. You can say right now, I'm gonna make 10 million in $10 million next year.
Mm.
Wasn't that easy to be said? Now go
Mhm.
do it is the task. So yes, it's easier said than done. I agree. But now you have to put your mind towards it. Now you have to you have to understand what would it take to make $10 million in 1 year. The next thing is you want to break that joint down, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, I like
10
that.
million in 1 year, how much do you need to make a month, right? How much do you need to make a week? How much do you need to make a day? How much do you need to make an hour? So you break that down to the nitty gritty, right? So
Hmm.
when you figure out that number, that digit, whatever it is, what can you do to make that amount per hour, or what can you do to make that amount per day?
Mm.
So you have to, and it goes back into understanding the science of money, right? And how money works and how you're going to get it done. But you got to break it down to the smallest that you can get it, and then figure out, no, move from there. That's going to be your starting point, right? Every day, this is what I have to make to get to 10 million at the end, which is the end result at the end of the year.
Wow. So I feel like we need to be more active when it comes to teaching people about financial literature. But listen, you've got a good career in the military. Most of your bills and things are taken care of, but why can't you just be content with what you got? Why do you gotta be an entrepreneur? Why do you gotta be a writer? Why do you have to pursue other stuff?
I'm very contented. And those are just words, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
let me show you. I go to 7-Eleven, right?
mm, mhm,
I buy a cup of coffee for 99 cents or a dollar, whatever, and
mm.
I pay them with $20. And I said, cover somebody else's bill until when that 20 is finished, right? What would you call that? Like, we just put words on things, is what I'm saying. You see what
Mhm,
I'm
mhm,
saying? We put
mhm.
words on things. And at the end
Mm.
of the day, we all need money because we all got bills, right? We're
Preach,
not,
sister, preach.
huh?
I said preach.
Yeah,
Well,
we all got bills. And the older you get, man, it's like the more bills come.
mhm,
Cause you started as a kid, you need money for candy, blah, or whatever the cases may be. Preteen, college, okay, bet. Mid 20s, you now got a mortgage or you got rent. Added to the candy, added to the student loan that you're going to be paying for the college that you just went to, right? Then you have the car. Then you have, you see what I'm saying? So bills get added, and then you get older, and then you get sick, and then, you got to cover that too. You know what I mean? So we're living in a society we're not doing bartering. Money is important. Money is important. So why I do what I do? On my
mhm,
entrepreneurial journey, I want to be able to step in any line, whatever line that I may be in, and cover
mm.
the person behind me bill.
Wow.
So it's our 7-Eleven.
Mm,
I'd like to hop at a car mart right now, right?
mm,
I see another person looking for a car, and you know, uh, like, let me give it. I'm gonna give it. I like giving examples about me. It's weird
mhm.
because this is what I go through on a day-to-day basis.
Because you know
Okay,
yourself better. Yeah.
so I remember I went to the car marts aren't really open just yet, but you can make appointments and you can go in. And this lady was in there, and bless her heart, she was like, she was telling the guy, one of the reps, she cannot afford to do her payments anymore, or she
Mm,
can't make her full payment, something like that. I was eavesdropping, and um she was saying it to the guy, and he was like, well, ma'am, we'll see what we can do for you, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And I normally, if I'm doing something for somebody, I'm not going to go up there and say, ma'am, so XYZ. So I went to the guy that
mm,
is dealing with her, right? He went to go speak to the manager or something, and I stopped him in between his tracks. And I said to him, I said, would like $5,000 or so make a difference in this lady's life right now?
mm,
How much, how long you know, how far can that go? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because I'm not gonna get rid of all your problems, but I'm gonna help you with some.
I
You see
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
Hmm.
So, in order for me to keep on helping people, I have to keep on going. I have to keep on making money. I have to keep on investing. I have to keep on making smart choices, smart decisions, so I can help others and help others not to make a mistake in the process of whether it be financial literacy or whatever the cases may be.
Wow, that's very impressive. So instead of just thinking about today and yourself, you're thinking about tomorrow and how much you can be able to help people.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's connected to what you said. All of us have got a purpose in life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The purpose in life is not only to benefit us, it's to benefit people, our community, and the nations. And if you know the reason why you exist, then you know what to do with your life. I feel like that's what gives you a sense of direction, a vision, and you be more driven to achieve and accomplish your goals.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, in the final analysis,
Oh Lord.
this
Here it
question is gonna be good. I know that Moya, you're not stopping for nothing. You're gonna keep on going. Probably along the journey, it might be 1 year from now, 2 years, 3 years, our conversation will be different because I know what kind of a person you are. But when it's all done and said, when you have lived your life, lived your dreams, when you have done everything that was on your list, what do you want people to remember you for?
Oh man. You know I'm goofy, right? I'm crazy. I think everybody.
I know.
I think you know what. You know what. In all honesty, I think everybody knows that I'm crazy. Like it's weird. Like that's something that I just want to. But
Hey, there's different types of crazy. So you want to be specific, you know what I mean?
well, you know, the goofy guy. You know, um,
Mm,
I want to be remembered for my love, my laughter, my goofiness. Right.
mm,
Um,
mm,
and I also want to be remembered as the person that reintroduced you to
mm.
yourself.
That's deep.
Because sometimes you get so disconnected, like the job, the kids, everything gets you so disconnected from yourself. It gets you very much like at some point, probably you look in the mirror, you don't even recognize yourself.
Mm,
That's you allowing life and everything else to separate you from who
mm,
you are. So I want to
mm,
be remembered as that person, whether it be through laughter, through whatever it is. I want to be remembered as that person that reintroduced you to yourself, and you know through just and the person that reminded you also that through all your flaws
mm.
and imperfection, you are perfect.
Oh.
Like you're great and you're perfect. People, it's okay.
Mm,
People are gonna understand. It's okay to praise yourself.
mm-hmm,
And I want to be remembered as that person that reminded you that you are great,
mm,
that you're perfect.
mm.
Everything starts with you, brother. Every last thing on this earth starts with you. That's it. So goofy,
Uh,
funny, love, and
so
the
my
person that
my my
reintroduced you.
recap would be if you wanna go anywhere in life, if you're gonna set on any journey, everything has to start with you.
Correct.
If you don't know yourself, if you go to Vegas, you're gonna imitate what everybody is doing in Vegas. If you
Correct.
don't know yourself, you go to New York, you're gonna be imitating what everybody is doing in New York. So
Correct.
identity is a starting point. Know who you are, then nothing is going to divert you from the goal. And the
Correct.
other point that I liked is we are all created in different ways. We are unique. So I don't want you to be Elijah. I don't want you to be Moya. I want you to embrace and accept who you are. Even when you've got a messed up childhood, when you've got a
Mm-hmm.
messed up life, it doesn't mean you're not a prominent member of a society or you're disqualified. I feel like all of us are a work in progress. But
Yes.
one thing we gotta keep on doing is we gotta keep on working on ourselves to get better, so that we can achieve our goals. Life, man, is not meant to be lived like a survival. You know what I mean? We need to
Mm-hmm.
live life with a meaning, with a purpose and joy. Every minute, every second needs to mean something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm having a conversation. There's somebody who wish they were in our situation to just have a moment, but they don't. So we cannot manage to take everything for granted or anything for granted. We gotta live life with a meaning. So, Khamoya, it's so great. This is some deep conversation. It just blew me because your outlook in life is so amazing, and I just wanted to keep on going and spreading the love and impacting people in any different ways or in any form. You shouldn't stop for nothing. And knowing where you come from and where we are, I can truly say I'm so proud of you, and it's always an honor to call you a friend, like for real.
Thank you, Elijah. Same here, man. Same here. We have a long way to go.
We
We have
do.
a long. I can't wait. We need to work on something together, man.
We
We
will,
got.
right?
Yeah, we got it. We got it. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. We most
Okay.
definitely will.
I like I'll hit you up, then we're gonna get the project rolling after the
Get
show.
something rolling. See, we're planning something already.
Do you wanna say bye to the audience before we go off the air?
Sure. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for sitting through and listening to me babble, I guess. I don't know. What do you
Well,
let me know what you got out of what I said. My only
uh,
hope is just to help one person a day, make one change. That's where it starts. One. So you helping one helping another, then it multiplies.
what about if somebody has got a question for you? They want to learn more or mentorship? How can they reach you?
Sure, they can reach me on my Facebook at
Okay.
Khamoya and White Gordon. You can send me an email also at Khamoya Gmail, or you can also send me an email at or you can go on my website at KhamoyaGordon.com, KhamoyaGordon.net. I own them all. You can reach me at any of those areas.
All right. This is an African and Jamaican connection, yo. It was our pleasure to have you. We're gonna sign out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give us a feedback on the videos, and if you have any questions, you can text me or inbox me. I've got another show tomorrow, so see you tomorrow. We are
All
out.
right. Thank you for having me, Elijah. Great catching up with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Come here. I appreciate